Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to 3i Infotech Ltd Q3 FY’25 earnings conference call. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star then 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Prateek P. Jagtap from EY Investor Relations. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Yusuf. Good evening to all of you. Welcome to the Q3 FY’25 earnings call of 3i Infotech Ltd. The results and investor presentation have already been mailed to you, and you can also view it on our website at www.3iinfotech.com. To take us through the results today and to answer your questions, we have the top management of 3i Infotech Ltd, represented by Raj Ahuja, CEO. Raj will start the call with business update. After that, we will open the floor for Q&A session. As usual, I would like to remind you that anything that is said on this call that reflects any outlook for the future or which can be construed as a forward-looking statement must be viewed in conjunction with the risks and uncertainties that we face. These risks and uncertainties are included but not limited to what we have mentioned in prospectus filed with SEBI and subsequent annual reports that you can find it on our website. With that said, I will now hand over the call to Raj. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Prateek. Good evening to everyone, and thank you for joining us on the Q3 financial year 25 earnings call. I'm glad to connect with all of you once again. I will share our financial performance and business update during the quarter. I will also share some insight into our progress, challenges, and outlooks. Despite Q3 being a seasonably weak quarter for the industry, I'm pleased to report that this is one of the best quarterly performances that we as a company have reported in the recent times. We have witnessed a revenue of rupees 181.4 crore, which is a growth of 2.1% on quarter-on-quarter basis. We have seen a significant improvement in operational efficiencies, which is demonstrated in our EBITDA margin of 6.4% this quarter, up from 3.1% in the previous quarter. This improvement shows our commitment to enhance profitability while maintaining investments in innovation and talent. Our profit after tax stood at rupees 40.6 crore as compared to a loss of rupees 4.3 crore last quarter. This quarter, we also had forex gains of rupees 38.9 crore, which is part of the profit after tax of 40.6 crore. As we have some legacy forex exposures, because of the rupee depreciation this quarter, we have recorded this gain as the company doesn't have a hedging policy. As on December 31st, 2024, our net cash position stood at around 7.4 crore at consolidated level. Our DSO currently is 81 days, which is improved from 98 days in FY’24 end, which is an improvement of around 17 days in the last 9 months. We are working on the business strategy for the next few years to come, and this should be showing effect in the upcoming financial year. But broadly, we will be focusing on our traditional line of businesses with our products business horizontally contributing to the growth in future. Coming to geographies, we are steadily growing in the US region and we would like to expand our focus on the value businesses, especially AAA business, cloud, cybersecurity, and the newest technologies like blockchain, AI, automation, and data. In terms of our segment performance, in Q3 financial year 25, our AAA unit, which stands for Application Analytics and Automation Unit, contributed 68% in total revenues with a gross margin of around 12%. AAA is one of the highest revenue contributors with around 123.2 crore during the quarter, followed by infrastructure services revenue of rupees 37.4 crore with a gross margin of 20.5%, and the business process services which reported a revenue of rupees 20.7 crore with a gross margin of 18.4%. Coming to the quarterly performance of our geographies and verticals, the US region posted revenue of rupees 74.4 crore with a sequential growth of 21.6%. We have won many new accounts in AAA business with a favorable forex exposure. India region has registered revenue of 79 crore with a sequential degrowth of around 10%. This drop in revenue is majority from the business process services business due to regulations leading the client companies to insource some of their operations. On the industry front, the verticals, the IT segment reported quarter-on-quarter growth of 28.2%. The BFS vertical segment reported quarterly revenue of 73.1 crore versus rupees 79.6 crore previous quarter. During the quarter, we have secured 34 new contracts with both existing and new customers, while successfully concluding a couple of contracts with a strong focus on driving growth in the IT sector. Out of this 34, the 16 are the contracts with new customers with a total contract value of rupees 12 crore. We have won 10 accounts in the US region, 4 in India, and 2 in EMEA region. As mentioned in my previous calls, our primary focus is on maintaining our scale and driving organic growth within existing accounts. At the same time, we are restructuring and enhancing our sales strategy to expand our reach and drive growth in the new accounts. We are also making significant progress in strengthening our partnerships with technology providers and co-innovating with clients to deliver differentiated solutions. Coming to some important business updates. I would like to update you on very important topic on forensic audit on legacy matters, which was initiated at the board meeting held on January 31st, 2024 by the company's board. For this audit, external consultants were engaged for the review, and their final report was submitted to the board on January 29th, 2025. Following a comprehensive evaluation, the board has reviewed, accepted, and approved the report, which confirms that there are no further implications or adverse financial impact on the company. This is a very positive news for our stakeholders as well as for 3i employees. The next very important update is on the dilution of our 3i Infotech stake in our subsidiary, Infotech Ltd. I am pleased to announce a partnership with some strategic investors, marking a significant milestone in the monetization of our RailTel project. This investment reinforces 3i Infotech's position as a key player in public and private digital infrastructure and accelerate its efforts in digital innovation. The total consideration for the transaction is rupees 17.5 crores, and expected completion of sale is on or before 31st March 2025. With this new investment, 3i Infotech is poised to enhance the project's scalability, drive growth, greater connectivity, and deliver long-term value. This partnership underscores the company's commitment to advancing digital infrastructure and maximizing growth opportunities in this sector. As a part of our strategy of global restructuring of our entities to optimize operations and enhance efficiencies, we have decided to voluntarily liquidate 2 of our direct subsidiaries, 3i Infotech Saudi Arabia and Infotech Solutions Singapore. Also, significant progress has been made on the restructuring of our US and UK step-down subsidiaries, and we are actively working on few other regions as part of this strategic initiative. I'm also pleased to report some small additions to the management team in this quarter. I'm pleased to welcome Vaibhav Samani as our new acting Chief Financial Officer and Navneesh Sareen as the Business Head, Business Process Services. Their extensive experience and strategic leadership will be very instrumental in driving our financial growth and business expansion. Vaibhav, a qualified chartered accountant, brings extensive experience in financial management across various industries. He has a strong track record in leading finance teams, implementing internal controls, and overseeing key functions such as accounts finalization, IND-AS conversions, audits, and compliance. Navneesh brings over 30 years of global delivery experience in banking and financial services. He has worked with companies like GE Capital, Bank of America, Genpact. He has held leadership roles across operations, business development, transformation, and M&A, managing large teams across multiple countries. With expertise in operations, technology, risk, and compliance, he has led teams of over 8,000 associates worldwide. We look forward to both of their contributions as we continue our journey towards innovation and excellence. Please join us in extending a warm welcome to the team. Looking ahead, we remain optimistic about our long-term growth trajectory. But for this year, we anticipated a decline in top line year-on-year, primarily due to our strategic decision to exit some low margin and loss-making deals, the details of which we had discussed in our last call also. However, as our growth initiative gained traction, we expect to see positive momentum by year-end, with fair growth projected to begin in FY'26. Our EBITDA and PAT has already turned positive this year and expected to sustain and grow in the quarters to come. In conclusion, I would like to express my gratitude to our employees, clients, and partners for their continued support and trust in us. While we acknowledge the challenges ahead, we are confident that our strategic initiatives, strong execution capabilities, and dedicated teams will enable us to deliver sustainable growth and value creation in the coming quarters. Thank you. I will now hand over the floor to moderator for the Q&A session.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to withdraw yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handset while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. First question is from the line of Harish, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
सबसे पहले मैं एक वेलकम नोट के थ्रू मैनेजमेंट से यह कहना चाहूंगा कि कंपनी के चेयरमैन और इंडिपेंडेंट डायरेक्टर उत्तम प्रकाश अग्रवाल जी और कंपनी के सीईओ राज आहूजा जी, यह दोनों बोर्ड में आने से इस कंपनी को एक नई लाइफलाइन मिली है। साथ ही कंपनी के अंदर एक नई जान भी आई है, क्योंकि इसके पहले यह कंपनी वेंटिलेटर पर थी। मैं आशा करता हूँ कि राज जी ने इस क्वार्टर में यह जो अनएक्सपेक्टेड और सरप्राइजिंग रिजल्ट्स अनाउंस किया है, वो सिर्फ इसी क्वार्टर के लिए वन डे वंडर ना रहे, बल्कि आगे आने वाले क्वार्टर्स में भी सस्टेनेबल और ग्रोथ ओरिएंटेड रहे। आज के कॉन्कॉल में मेरे कुल मिलाकर 12 क्वेश्चंस हैं और मेरा मॉडरेटर से रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप मुझे बीच में ना रोकिए और मुझे अपनी पूरी बात रखने का मौका दें। क्वेश्चन नंबर फर्स्ट, राज जी, कल आपने Q3 FY'25 के रिजल्ट अनाउंस किए, लेकिन अभी तक आपने उसके रिगार्डिंग प्रेस रिलीजेस और इन्वेस्टर प्रेजेंटेशन एक्सचेंज पर अपलोड नहीं किए, तो फिर आपको आज ही इतनी जल्दी कॉन्फ्रेंस देने की क्या जरूरत थी? अगर आप चाहते हैं तो इसे 1-2 दिन के बाद अरेंज कर सकते थे ना, ताकि तब तक सभी इन्वेस्टर्स भी वो सब कुछ पढ़कर समझ सकते हैं। क्या आपकी आज रात प्रयागराज की फ्लाइट थी? इट्स अ जोक्स अपार्ट। क्वेश्चन नंबर सेकेंड, एक तो यह बात आपको भी अच्छी तरह से मालूम है कि आपके कंपनी के पास कंपैरेटिवली अदर स्मॉल कैप और मिड कैप आईटी कंपनी से ज्यादा नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स है। मतलब कि लगभग 17 करोड़ के आसपास नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स हैं। और अगर उस हिसाब से देखा जाए तो कंपनी का पेड इक्विटी शेयर कैपिटल भी लगभग 170 करोड़ के आसपास है। तो फिर ऐसे माहौल में अब हो क्या रहा है कि आपको हर क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर ईपीएस डबल डिजिट में लाने के लिए बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत करनी पड़ सकती है, क्योंकि एक तरफ आप अपनी कंपनी के कुछ एलिजिबल एम्प्लॉयज को भर भर के इसॉप्स भी दे रहे हैं और दूसरी तरफ से आप इधर इक्विटी भी डाइल्यूट कर रहे हैं। मैं इसॉप्स के खिलाफ बिल्कुल भी नहीं हूँ, क्योंकि जो जिस चीज का हकदार है उसे वो चीज बिल्कुल मिलनी चाहिए। तो फिर ऐसे में क्या आप आने वाले दिनों में स्कीम ऑफ अरेंजमेंट मतलब SOA करके या फिर शेयर्स को बायबैक करके कंपनी के नंबर ऑफ शेयर कम नहीं कर सकते? क्योंकि ऐसा करने से कंपनी का क्वार्टरली ईपीएस डबल डिजिट में बढ़ता चला जा सकता है। इसके बारे में आप जरूर सोचिए। क्वेश्चन नंबर 3, अगर आप क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर कभी भी न्यू क्लाइंट्स को ऐड करते हैं या फिर किसी भी क्लाइंट के साथ न्यू कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन करते हैं, तो फिर आप उस कॉन्ट्रैक्ट की साइज और वो कॉन्ट्रैक्ट कितने साल का है वो सारी जानकारी प्रेस रिलीज करके डिस्क्लोज क्यों नहीं करते हैं? क्योंकि सभी आईटी कंपनी करती है। क्या आपको डर है कि आपके क्लाइंट्स के ना आपके कॉम्पिटिटर्स को पता चल जाएगा? अगर आपने आगे से इसे बिजनेस अपडेट के तौर पर देना चालू किया तो एटलीस्ट मार्केट में कंपनी का सेंटिमेंट तो पॉजिटिव बना रहेगा और शेयर प्राइस में ज्यादा उथल पुथल तो नहीं होगी। क्वेश्चन नंबर 4, पिछले क्वार्टर में आपने कहा था कि आप अपने आरटीआई के बिजनेस को लेकर बहुत ही कॉन्फिडेंट हैं, तो फिर आप एक इसका अलग से सब्सिडियरी इनकॉर्पोरेट क्यों नहीं करते हैं? क्योंकि यह एक अनस्टॉपेबल, प्रॉफिटेबल और ग्रोइंग बिजनेस है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 5, आपको हर क्वार्टर एंडिंग के बाद शेयर होल्डिंग पैटर्न एक्सचेंजेस पर अपलोड करने के लिए 20 तारीख के बाद का या फिर उसके आसपास का समय क्यों लगता है? अगर आप चाहें तो इसे जितना जल्दी हो सके उतना जल्दी अपलोड कर सकते हैं ना। मतलब कि 10 तारीख के बाद या फिर उसके आसपास, जो कि कुछ कुछ कंपनियां करती भी है। क्वेश्चन नंबर 6, जहां पर एक तरफ चीन की एक एआई कंपनी डीपसीक, ओपन एआई, गूगल और मेटा जैसी दिग्गज कंपनियों को चुनौती देकर मार्केट डिसरप्ट कर रही है, और यहाँ पर दूसरी तरफ आप लगभग 5,200 लोग एम्प्लॉयज को एम्प्लॉयमेंट दे रहे थे, तो क्या सच में आपको वाकई इतने सारे एम्प्लॉयज की जरूरत है? क्वेश्चन नंबर 7, आजकल का जमाना ज्यादातर डिजिटल और सोशल मीडिया का है, और ऐसे माहौल में आपकी कंपनी अपने प्रोडक्ट्स और सर्विसेज की ज्यादा से ज्यादा एडवर्टाइजमेंट सिर्फ लिंक्डइन पर ही अपलोड करती है। कंपनी का फेसबुक पेज पिछले 4 सितंबर से और आपका यूट्यूब का ऑफिशियल चैनल पिछले 10 महीने से इनएक्टिव है। तो फिर मैं आपसे यह जानना चाहता हूँ कि आप अपने कंपनी के प्रोडक्ट और सर्विसेज की एडवर्टाइजमेंट बाहर आउटसोर्सिंग करके किसी मीडिया एजेंसी के थ्रू करवाते हैं या फिर खुद आपकी कंपनी की मीडिया टीम ही यह सारे पोस्ट अपलोड करती है? और अगर हो सके तो आगे से फेसबुक, एक्स, इंस्टाग्राम, लिंक्डइन और यूट्यूब, इन 5 सोशल नेटवर्किंग साइट्स पर डे टू डे बेसिस और एट अ टाइम आप अपने कंपनी के प्रोडक्ट्स और सर्विसेज की एडवर्टाइजमेंट अपलोड करें। इसे आप मेरा एक सुझाव समझिए। क्वेश्चन नंबर 8, 1 जनवरी 25 मतलब इस कैलेंडर ईयर के पहले ही दिन मानसी शेयर एंड स्टॉक एडवाइजर प्राइवेट लिमिटेड इस ऑपरेटर ने कंपनी के शेयर प्राइस में 20% का अपर सर्किट लगाकर सारे शेयर्स खरीदे और ठीक दूसरे ही दिन उन्होंने कल लिए हुए सारे शेयर बेच दिए। तो इसके बारे में आप क्या कहना चाहेंगे? क्योंकि इस ऑपरेटर ने सिर्फ 2 ही दिन में कंपनी के सारे शेयर कम और डम कर दिए थे। क्वेश्चन नंबर 9, क्या आपसे आगे आने वाले क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर रिजल्ट्स में कुछ अनएक्सपेक्टेड और ह्यूज नेगेटिव सरप्राइजेस आ सकते हैं या फिर नहीं? क्वेश्चन नंबर 10, अब तो आपके पास वेरी वेल डिफाइंड मैनेजमेंट टीम भी तैयार है, तो फिर क्या आप अब आने वाले कुछ दिनों में अपकमिंग गाइडेंस या फिर अगले कुछ सालों का बिजनेस आउटलुक देना चाहेंगे या अभी भी नहीं? क्वेश्चन नंबर 11, क्या आपका किसी प्राइवेट इक्विटी प्लेयर या फिर किसी एंकर इन्वेस्टर के साथ टेक के सिलसिले में इनिशियल लेवल्स पर बातचीत चल रही है? एंड लास्ट क्वेश्चन नंबर 12, कंपनी की प्रिसाइजली बुक वैल्यू प्राइस कितनी है और आगे से इसे क्वार्टर ऑन क्वार्टर इन्वेस्टर प्रेजेंटेशन में ऐड कीजिए। इसके सिवाय आपने कल के रिजल्ट्स में कंपनी की बैलेंस शीट और कैश फ्लो स्टेटमेंट्स को क्यों हाइड किया है? दैट्स ऑल फॉर माय साइड।
Thank you, Harishji. I think it was a very long list of questions, but I must say that I think you have looks like a great admirer of our company, and thanks for that you have done so much of in-depth analysis and so much relevant questions, which I keep handling on a day-to-day basis, even internally. So I like to give whatever I can readily give in this call, both from a readiness point of view and from the legality point of view. Whatever I can share, I'll try to share transparently as much information as I can. First point, I think I take your feedback. I fully agree that there was a delay in uploading of the press release and the investor presentation, which was done, I think, around half an hour just before this call. There were some last minute changes which we was doing. We are every quarter for the last 2-3 quarters since I've been here, we are trying to improve the quality and try to improve the coverage of our presentations. And there are some information which still flows little late, but we'll ensure that next time. And since this call was already scheduled, we couldn't have shifted this call to a later date because people would have blocked their calendars. So we take your point. So one, we will keep a little bit of a buffer between the release of the financial and this call from next quarter, so that we have reasonably good time to create some analytics for the investor presentations. And we'll try to not to have any delay in the release before the call. You're anyway welcome. Even if you have some questions after you have gone through this presentation and press release later, you can reach out through our investor relations cell, and we'll be able to give you those queries. If you have any additional queries, we'll be able to answer it to you separately. Number of shares is high. I think if you're following the company, you know that a lot of these shares have been issued as a part of our debt restructuring in 2021, where we had converted our liabilities, long-term liabilities, to the equity capital, and that's why our number of shares is quite high. And I agree with your analysis. But the restructuring of the capital structure is not an easy process, especially share buyback, because that will entail availability of liquidity in the company, which currently we need that liquidity for our growth purposes, and we will not like to use that for the reduction in the share capital. And we are very clear that we should be working more towards enhancing and increasing our revenues and profits, so that we can justify paid-up capital rather than decreasing paid-up capital and getting lesser profits. So anyway, point taken, and we will see if there is some opportunity still exists. We will evaluate that, and thanks for that feedback. New clients disclosure, yes, that was your third question. So new client disclosure, we have not been doing very aggressively in the past. I think even in the past, before I had joined, I think there was not been enough focus on disclosing and making deal-specific disclosures to the stock exchange. And I think that's a part of our DNA or strategy, whatever you call it. And again, in this point also, we will discuss internally, and then we'll see that if some of the deals we can disclose, subject to obviously our confidentiality agreement with the clients, we will be happy to disclose. And it's not that we are trying to hide, but I think it's more of the approach we had taken in the past that continues even now. Question number 4 on the RTA. We internally, and I think some of our press release this time, including the stock exchange, you would have seen we're trying to simplify our entity structures, subsidiary structures. At this point of time, all the businesses we are trying to bring to a common company, our main common company or one operating company. And we have no intention to hive off separate businesses and separate subsidiaries as of now. And that includes RTA. Though the size and the profitability of RTA business is reasonably good, there is no intention to separate out that business as a separate company even in future. It continues as one of our existing offerings out of the list rather than being a separate subsidiary company. 5th point, I think I take your feedback. I have Varika also in the room, who is the company secretary, and this point is for her feedback that we should be uploading the shareholding pattern much earlier than the due dates of 20th. We can do it. There is no challenge. I think as a matter of practice, it has become 20th, but we will advance it. So there is no challenge there. DeepSeek AI market disruption. I agree that there's a lot of disruption happening in the market. Our services are a little different than the services of what the AI and DeepSeek is doing. We are into, if you see investor presentation and you have been following our company, we are the people who are helping others to do what DeepSeek is and AI is doing. Like, we are the technology partner or technology provider for the IT companies, for banking companies, for manufacturing companies to do their automations. So when you say that the AI is helping the general public in so many ways, the people behind are the companies whom we are supporting today. So the 5,000 people are now it is 4,800 this quarter. The number of people what we have, they are the people who are actually creating these technologies and helping our clients to create these technologies. So cutting down this number is of no, it's not a right suggestion, because most of our employees are billable resources and working with the clients to automate and to create these new technologies. And hence, each and every employee is a inventory for me, whom I use for providing services to the clients and create my revenue. So cutting down employee count means actually cutting down my revenue. Having said that, obviously we have around 10% of our staff, 11% of our staff, which is non-billable, which includes people like me and my team in the corporate offices and the LOB-wise management teams. So those are the people who support this balance 90% people to provide services to our clients. And we continue to review and optimize that 11%. This number used to be around 14% 6 months back. We have brought it down to around 10%, little higher than 10%. And we continue to monitor and bring down this non-billable resources by automating, by optimizing processes, and by taking care of their productivity so that we can invest lesser and lesser on the non-billable resources. 7th point was on our presence in digital media. I think this point came last quarter also. Obviously, the last 1-2 quarters, we have not been very active on the digital media. And that is also because of our business model, which is more B2B. Our B2B clients, though it is still important for the brand building, but most of our the platforms which you talked about, which include Facebook, YouTube, X, Instagram, they are more for the retail customers and not for B2B kind of promotions. So our clients are like banks and IT companies and manufacturing units, and for that, these social media is not a right method for creating a brand. For awareness, yes, I understand. Some of these the employees in these companies are also on the social media. So from awareness and brand building, yes, it is important. And that point I have noted, and we'll see that what best we can do in those platforms to improve our presence. But we'll never be using these platforms for active marketing. They remain as a more brand building and awareness initiatives. On 1st of January 2025, there was one block deal which has happened, not in the form of block deal, but a big, where one of our existing shareholder, which was a bank, they have transferred the shareholding from within their company, from one holding company to one another group company, and that had gone through obviously this I think the person in between, and suddenly you would have seen a little surge in the price as well as on the volumes on that particular day. But that was just nobody has really bought the shares or sold the shares at a bulk, other than this share transfer which has happened from one group company to another group company of one stakeholder. And we have not gone into the depth because, like I mentioned last time, we don't control or we don't influence anything which is happening in the stock market, whether it's a large deal sales or this transfer of shareholding from one company to another company or price movements. We use that as a barometer, but we don't intervene in any of those things. So this was completely out of our control. Question number 9, we are not expecting any negative surprise from here onwards. I think our major concern till now, and also all of the stakeholders, including you, would have been the forensic audit, which was initiated around a year back. That report has been received. That report has been accepted by the board and reviewed. And there is no, like we have already disclosed, there is no material, not even material, there is no negative implication of that report into the financial positions and the operational position of the company. And other than the normal business risk and business surprises which any company can expect, we are not expecting any negative surprises from here onwards. On the giving the outlook and the strategy, I think again this point was also discussed in the last meeting. We had committed that along with the Q4 results, we'll be presenting our strategy with or without management team. So it was not waiting for the management team to come. It was for me to settle down, clean up some of those things which has been haunting us in the last few quarters, and then think about a strategy. And that's why we had promised that we will, as a part of our Q4 closure, we'll be presenting our next few years strategy. Whether numbers or no numbers, at least a strategic direction we'll be setting for the company, and we'll be coming back to the stakeholder of whatever we can share out of that. And that is committed and that will be done. So we are internally ready with a lot of thoughts on that. We are just trying to console everything into one place and also take the board and other senior board members into confidence before we make that public. There is no talks as of now with any private investor or a private equity player or any other such investor. There have been a couple of meetings, which is more of our introduction to the group and more evaluations as of now. But there are no active discussions happening on any of our further capital enhancements. I don't have this last information. I don't have readily with me the precise book value, and maybe I think we can do one thing, that we can do the exact math and we can make it as a part of investor presentation PPT, and we can upload it in the next few days. One more version of it, including the book value of the group, and why we are not uploading the balance sheet and cash flows. Because of the LODR requirements, this is a limited review quarter. So Q1 and Q3 are limited review quarters where only the financials are audited. not the complete financial statements. Quarter 2 and quarter 4 is that when we release the complete financial set, which includes balance sheet and cash flow. Having said that, we will see that if some portions of our top items in the balance sheet, if we can cover it as a part of the investor presentation sometime in future. Quarter 4 anyway, you will be getting the full view of the balance sheet. Quarter 2, we had released that balance sheet also along with the financials. And in future next year, we will see that if we can do a little bit on the balance sheet also in the investor relations, in investor presentations. I hope I have covered all the points and not missed out the points or the intention behind the point. Thank you.
राज जी,
Yes, sir.
अगर आप मुझे एक वेल विशर मानते हैं तो सिर्फ आप जाते जाते बस इतना ही कह दीजिए कि तो वर्स्ट इज ओवर.
I think I won't be able to use these words exactly, but I think I have said that as a part of your question on what is the negative expected. I think I've covered that well in that point. Because you'll always have the business risk and business things in any business. So to the best of our knowledge, there is nothing which is like say left. There is nothing hidden as of now. Everything transparently has been disclosed. And I'm not expecting anything further there, but there are unforeseen circumstances which keep happening in the market and elsewhere, which can impact. So I think this is what I can say as of now.
Thanks and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Kiran Rao, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you and congrats on the good set of numbers. So I went through some of the companies that we have had tie-up with on the retail project. But I see most of them are basically very new. One company is as new as about 8 months. So I don't know if they really have a track record. Can you please throw some light on this? Second question is, a couple of years back, we had tied up with the IIT Research Park, Chennai, to establish a future tech business lab. Is it still in place? Are we, trying to leverage some technology out of this tie-up? That's the second question. So now that we are liquidating 2 of the subsidiaries, will there be any savings in the, are we going to cut down the losses, or is it going to be of any use to us, or it is just that no profit, no loss on the balance sheet? So, and the final question is, do we have a clear roadmap now that, we are EBITDA positive, now the earnings per share has improved? Do we have a clear roadmap on the guidance or things like that, or the future targets we have set in? That's, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kiran. First on the RailTel project, if there are 4 parties in the on which, like say, who are like in partnership with us for this RailTel project. 3 of the entities are more financial investor, and there we have seen there the financial strength of supporting this project, and we have not like say done a full diligence on them from non-financial point of view about their credentials. Obviously, we have done the complete KYC and we have done the UPO and everything else. But the main party, which is the key party here, is the Cantera. They are into the digital media space. They have presence across, and they have been working on a lot of projects on the digital media side, both in terms of their expertise with the past with bigger clients, as well as their financial powers. I think Kanjera Group we have done the diligence from whether they can manage this whole project for us and whether they have expertise and people to manage it. So that's what has been done. The other three investors are more financial partners for Kanjera Group, and so we have done our due diligence. We have done the due diligence through an independent the firm also, lawyer firms also, who has done the complete due diligence on these parties about their credential. The companies would have been, some of these companies has been set up specifically for taking care of the retail project because they wanted more like a SPV structure. So the companies you might feel are new, but if you go through the UBO, the ultimate beneficiary ownerships, they have a lot of experience and expertise in managing these kind of projects. On the IIT Research Park, yes, you are absolutely right. We had a tie-up with IIT. I think we did it around 3 years back, if I remember correctly, where we had housed our Future Tech subsidiary employees over there, which is I think around 40-50 employees, who are working on developing new age products. And those are that team was housed in IIT Research Park, and in collaboration with a lot of this innovation and the startup labs and all were there. And in collaboration of that, we were supposed to get a lot of mileage and give a lot of experience and expertise to the startups. And so it was more like a helping this whole research park to create new age technology and products. But if you're following us for a couple of quarters now, our focus, we have been reviewing all our product portfolios. In the last quarter, I think we had made it, we've generally informed everybody that we will not be focusing on products development anymore because we used to be a products company. Now we want to continue into the services space, and our focus is more on IT solution and services. And that's why in the last 6 months, board has taken a conscious call of cutting down on our investment into the products and focus on IT services and solutions. As a part of that, we have partially dismantled our products portfolio with Future Tech, and this quarter we'll also be giving up that IIT Research Park space. So we'll be exiting out of that collaboration because of our strategic decision to focus more on the services and not on creating new products. On the liquidation front, the whole purpose of this entity restructure was that in the past we have set up many companies and subsidiaries across the globe, and now we are refocusing on which are the geographies we want to focus, and accordingly we want to cut down certain companies in some particular regions where we don't have a strategic focus now, and that includes some of those companies which we have announced that we will be closing. In KSA, especially Saudi, we have business, and it's a profitable business, but not hugely profitable. But there the reason of exit is very different, which we had made it public through the stock exchange notifications a couple of weeks back, that there is a old tax matters with the authorities over there, which is almost to the tune of around 25 crore. Which we had gone back to the government for a settlement, and the government has not agreed for any kind of a settlement. And the current status of that company does not support us to make a payment of 25 crore. So we had decided to close down that company, and so the KSA liquidation is purely commercial driven. And while other companies like what we had reported in UK, US. We are doing some bit of restructuring in Malaysia, Singapore, and couple of African countries. Those are purely because of the efficiencies which we are trying to create, where we had zero or no business, and those entities were set up for some specific purposes that point of time in last 15-20 years. And so that will obviously bring us a lot of cost saving in terms of the management of those companies, the filings, the directors, the auditors. So that will obviously give us the cost savings. I already covered your first point, which you asked about the roadmap guidance, that we have committed that quarter four, we are going to give a detailed strategic roadmap and guidance, and we are committed to that. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Ramalingam, an individual investor. Please go ahead. Ramalingam, your line is unmuted. Please go ahead with the question.
Yeah. So can you hear me?
Your voice is very low, sir.
Yeah. Now can you hear me?
Request you to please use your handset, sir.
Just a minute. Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Please proceed.
Yeah. So first of all, congratulate to the team for the better good result for in the third quarter. So my point is that we had the same result of the good PAT in the last, I think it is financial year 2022, if my guess is right. Okay. But in Q4, we are ended up with the loss. Whatever that we received as a profit after tax, we ended up with the loss in the fourth quarter. So my concern is it due to only some seasonal improvement, or will it persistent in the fourth quarter also? That is not my first question. Yeah. And the second question is, so for that top sales, top line, how we are going to improve? So is there any strategy that we are going to focus? Infotech, that is my next question. How you are going to, because as of now, you are focusing on only how to increase the PAT, restructuring and the entire unit. So after that, what is the strategy that we Infotech is going to focus? That's it.
Okay. Thanks, Mr. Ramalingam. First of all, there is no seasonality as of now in the financials. We have shown a consistent top line in the last 3 quarters, which is in the range of around 180 crore. And the focus, you are absolutely right, and we have also discussed it in the last meeting, that the focus for the last 6 months mostly has been on cleaning up of all the past issues, including the forensic audit legacy issues, and taking control of whatever has happened in the past. And thirdly, how do we restructure our business to make it more efficient operationally by cutting down wastages, cutting down people who is not productive, and so many other initiatives, transformational initiatives we have taken in the last 6 months' time. While we are doing it, one is that there is no one-time seasonal impact. These are sustainable revenues and sustainable profits which we have been gathering. So in any of the financials, we have not taken a one-time gain or one-time hit or no seasonal variations we have encountered in our financial in the last 3 quarters. Whether the quarter 4 will be say a repetition of FY'22 is your worry, and I've already told in the first part when I was replying to Mr. Harish that we are not expecting any negative surprises other than whatever happens in the market. We are not expecting any negative surprises which will take us back to those FY'22 days. So our trajectory is expected to continue. We already finished 1 month of the quarter. We have not seen any negative results as of now in the first month of the quarter, and we are not expecting also in the next 2 months. So I don't see a repetition of FY'22, but there are still 60 days left, so we have to keep working hard towards ensuring that we deliver what we commit. Top line improvements, it's not that, if you have noticed, if you see business-wise numbers, you will see that it is not that the business has been very smooth and stable. There are second level details whatever we operate with, there are ups and downs in the businesses, and the fact that the top line is sustained at the similar levels, and this quarter anyway we have even got 3% increase in the revenue, is mainly because of the fact that while some obviously contracts will you lose certain contracts, and that's very common in the market, but you also have this good sales pipeline to replace those lost deals so that you can continue not only to sustain but also grow the top line. This quarter, especially, the focus has started on the sales, building sales funnel. The focus has been on fixing up the right geographies and right product mixes, so which we have done in the last 3 months. And that's part of my other transcript was also that we are focusing on the US as a market. We have started focusing on value-added businesses like application development, maintenance, testing, automation, cybersecurity, cloud, AI. We have started doing some bit of investment in those technologies as well as the resources who understand those technologies for good customer interactions. And like any B2B business, it takes time to convert a customer into a sales. And that's the process which started. So I think it should start yielding results, maybe some in quarter 4 and quarter 1 onwards. We have a good sales funnel, and we continue to build more sales funnel, while in parallel, we try to create a management team of even the sales. We are looking for some good, strong sales team, which will happen in quarter 4 and quarter 1. And that should help us in building up a good sales top line. So this trajectory will continue, and this trajectory on the top line obviously will get more speeded up starting from quarter 1, when we'll start seeing the results of the new sales team and the new priorities and strategy which we have set for ourselves. I hope I was able to answer your question, Mr. Raman.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is from the line of Sanjay Khare, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. Congratulations, Raj, for a good quarter. We are seeing, just pardon me for some background noise. Good to see a sequential improvement in top line as well as operational profit for this quarter, and hope this thing continues in Q4 as well. As 1 month is already over and considering the deals in hand, are we seeing that there will be a sequential improvement in both revenue as well as bottom line for the Q4? That's the first question. Second question is about in Q3, the other expenses have gone down almost to 9 crore from 15 crore compared to last quarter, and about 25 crore compared to last year's Q3. So what are these other expenses, and are we going to see that other expenses are going to be in the same range, or it will be going again up?
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Sanjay. Thanks for the questions, and thanks for the wishes. And obviously, we have done a lot of hard work to get out to these results, and I think the trajectory will continue. That's what the efforts are. Quarter 4 outlook, as of now, we are not given a formal outlook, but we are looking obviously improving from quarter 3 as of now, both in top line and on the bottom line, and that's what we have been targeting. So this trajectory is expected to be continued. I'm not able to comment as of now on the numbers or the guidance or the range even, but our endeavor is to continue to improve from here quarter-on-quarter basis. In terms of the other expenses dropped to a lower level. The number which is there in the quarter 3, except for some few small exceptional item which is immaterial, these numbers will continue. We are not expecting this number to go up, and that is one of the efforts which we have done in the past few quarters of reducing these other overheads, which was also some portion of that was investment into this whole product creations, some bit of work on this infrastructure, where we had taken a lot of initiatives in cutting down a lot of costs by closing some offices, by merging some offices, and moving to different locations, and a lot of rejigging in the operation structure, manpower structures, non-billable resources cut down, advisors and professional consultants cut down. So I think there's a lot of initiative which has been taken to bring these cost levels to these levels. Is it sustainable? To the extent of maybe 90%. Some portions will keep going up as we go back to our growth trajectory. We might have to do more investments in future, but it will not be disproportionate to the revenue line item. So if my revenue is going up, obviously this cost line also will go up, not in the same proportion, but it will continue to go up anyway. We will have to sustain as of now these similar parameters in terms of operating cost percentages. I think that's what we are working on.
Sure. So I have a question related to Mediatek. Now this is the dilution is happening. So are we seeing any impact, any impact to the revenue as well as cost savings in Q4 because of this dilution, or the impact will come only from the Q1 onwards?
Since we have signed the definitive agreement, we will see the impact in this quarter itself. Currently, we have been spending amount of roughly around 3 to 4 crore every quarter in this on the RailTel project to keep it alive. While there was not much of revenue, very negligible revenue. Now from this quarter onwards, because we have signed the agreement, the cost will get into this subsidiary where you will also have a partner, which means that your cost will proportionately reduce. On the other hand, since we have a established partner with us, we are expecting the revenues to start going up now. We have already started talking about the sales funnel in the digital media space, which will work on the RailTel project, and that we have started working on. So our revenues will start accruing to us in quarter 4 to some extent, but quarter 1, obviously full quarter impact will come in next quarter. But you will see the impact of the RailTel in this quarter itself, because this is actually effective 1st of September, the deal. So you will have a cumulative impact of the September till March in quarter 4 results. So where the cost obviously will get into the subsidiary where we'll have 51% partnership, and revenues will start accruing in the coming quarter. So it will have a positive impact on the overall financials.
Thank you, Raj. And just last question, that 3i Infotech has invested into Axiom company, I think 2 years back. So is that investment now still there? Any returns we got on the investment back, or the investment is already forgo?
No, so this investment is still live. We had done this investment as a part of our product expansion in the cloud and the security space, the cyber security space. We had jointly developed a product called Neuray Edge, which is basically because of our investment in Axiom. As a part of the deal, we were supposed to do that investment in that company, and they were supposed to help us in this product called Neuray Edge. The details of which there on the investor presentation, the Neuray Edge product details. That product is already live and accruing us a lot of revenue. So there's an indirect benefit out of that investment. That investment is still live. It is actually a startup company which has created this product, and the valuation also has gone up in the last 3-4 quarters. The valuation of that company also has gone up, and we are not looking to exit as of now. We continue to stay invested because of this investment. We have this partnership with the partner for our Neuray Edge product.
Got it, Raja. Thank you very much, and wishing you all the best.
Thank you, Sanjay. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, as there are no further questions, I now hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you once again to everybody for joining this call. I think the questions were really, looks like that people have been, going into the depth, and they have a lot of expectation. And we are sure that whatever we need to do to come up to the expectation, we'll try our level best. Thank you for supporting us, and expect that support to continue. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of 3i Infotech Ltd, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us. You may now disconnect your lines.